All right, let's jump right in. Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're unpacking a really powerful viral text that's speaking directly to something so many of us feel right now, just utter modern burnout. We're looking at a message framed as a direct, personal note from the divine, specifically Jesus, and it's built to systematically dismantle our everyday anxieties. It's fascinating. Let's break down exactly how this piece achieves such a profound emotional impact for a seriously exhausted audience.
So imagine you're just mindlessly scrolling, and suddenly, boom, you hit this arresting hook. It literally demands your immediate emotional presence. By telling you that you are hearing these words for a reason, it instantly shifts the experience. It's no longer just random internet consumption, It frames it as a destined, meaningful pause in your day.
Which brings us to part 1, validating your hidden pain. Let's look at how it shows that God truly understands you.
Before it even tries to offer any solutions, the text does something absolutely crucial. It acknowledges the silent struggles we're all carrying around. It targets that exhausting performance of everyday life, putting on a brave face in public while you're just suffering privately. By stating that it knows the nights when you smiled in front of people but cried when you were alone, it hits the nail on the head. It tells the reader, your invisible pain, it's seen.
And then it pivots. It goes from just validating that pain to giving it a deliberate purpose. It answers that classic, agonizing question of why this is happening to you. But it doesn't use complex theology. Instead, it offers a practical promise. Your suffering isn't meaningless. It's actually active preparation for a stronger tomorrow.
Let's move into part 2, letting go of anxiety and how to stop that endless overthinking.
Once you feel seen, the text immediately tackles those heavy mental loads keeping us all awake at night. And notice how grounded these stressors are. We're not talking about abstract concepts here. We're talking about money, your studies, your future, your relationships. By specifically naming these everyday burdens, it ensures literally everyone can find their exact worry reflected right there.
Here's the real game changer. The crucial takeaway is that carrying these burdens all by yourself is just unproductive. It actually blocks positive change. It completely dismantles the illusion of control that worry gives us. It's effectively telling you to just put down the baggage you are never meant to carry alone and surrender that control to a higher power.
This sets us up perfectly for part 3, the purpose behind the delay. Remember, delay is not denial.
We have all been frustrated by those agonizing waiting periods, right? But look at how the text completely reframes the negative concept of delay into a positive, protective force. Think about it. If everything was given to you immediately, you probably wouldn't be ready for it. So delay is totally rebranded here. It's not a sign of being forgotten. Actually, scratch that. It's an essential tool for building your character and protecting you.
There's this stark contrast between our limited, often painful perspective and the unseen divine work happening behind the scenes. What feels like total destruction, like everything is falling apart, is actually a construction phase for something way better. What feels like abandonment, that's strategic maneuvering. It's removing toxic elements and protecting you from unseen dangers. It's like a giant puzzle where you only see a few pieces right now.
Then, the message pauses to directly confront our internal sense of self-worth. It asks the exhausted, empty reader to face a really painful internal narrative, that deep-seated fear that your past mistakes have somehow disqualified you from receiving grace or receiving love.
And the answer? It's a massive, resounding no. Love is absolutely not based on human perfection. Instead, it's based on divine mercy being vastly larger than your past. The reader is commanded to stop punishing themselves for who they used to be. It heavily reinforces that your true value is unconditionally tied to your identity as a child of God.
Now for the final thematic arc. Part 4, a promise of new beginnings. Joy is on the horizon.
After walking us through validation, anxiety, and delay, the energy just shifts entirely toward the future. The source promises an absolute end to the season of pain. And what replaces it? A sudden wave of impending breakthroughs. Joy, healing, peace, new opportunities. These aren't just possibilities. The text says they are being prepared for you right now, flooding the reader with this amazing, immediate optimism.
But there is one essential condition to all of this. You have to maintain belief even before you see any tangible results. The comfort and the promises are there, for sure, but they require letting go of the need for immediate proof. Faith isn't defined here as some rigid set of rules. It's defined as blind trust during times of utter confusion, when life simply makes zero sense.
As we hit the climax, the comforting words transition into a clear demand for action. You've survived every difficult moment so far, which means your purpose isn't finished. Get up again, pray again, dream again, believe again. These 4 steps act as this powerful, rhythmic rallying cry to absolutely refuse defeat. And instead of leaving you with a vague, distant promise, it gives you a highly specific, short-term timeline to anchor your hope in the next few days. It creates this concrete window to look forward to, promising unexpected breakthroughs and building this really fun, immediate sense of suspense.
Stripping away all the complex theological ideas, you're left with this pure, fundamental reassurance of presence. I am with you. When life becomes completely overwhelming, the text wants you to remember these exact words. It's the ultimate antidote to that profound isolation we talked about at the very beginning of the message.
And then it follows up immediately with the promise that it will never leave you. This back-to-back sequence of raw promises builds intense emotional momentum. It ensures that this divine presence isn't just temporary or conditional. The whole goal is for you to walk away with an unshakable guarantee of companionship.
The message wraps up by declaring that there is still a beautiful plan for your life. So, by engaging with this explainer today, I want to challenge you to look past whatever current burnout you're feeling and actively imagine, if your story is far from over, what beautiful plan is waiting for you next.